Shanice,
You know what you just said? You have no sense. Everybody can
Shanice, what's up? I'm laughing at it, laughing right now.
Hey, hey, hey,
the
Noble, what did I tell you earlier? They gonna be coming in by the bus loads. They gonna be coming in by the bus loads, boy, after I get
Okay,
done with
let's
my
get back
mom.
to it. Shanice, what's up, Shanice? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, Shanice? Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making you wait that long. I'm sorry to the chat, man. But like the man was speaking a lot of truth. Now we have
Hey, he was dropping that ism.
he was dropping that ism. We have a 28-year-old single mother of two in here right now. So if she wants to
Here we
debunk
go.
anything that he said, if she wants whatever she wants to, she's gonna address Rebel. We gonna give her the opportunity to do that, man. Go ahead, Shanice. Get into it.
So I'll just try to be real quick because you guys trying to hop off. First
No,
thing
no,
I wanted
I'm
to
chilling. I'm chilling. Chilling.
well, so Rebel said earlier in the chat that he doesn't appreciate like feelings over fact. So I'm just gonna correct some of the things that you said because a lot of the stuff you said was not factual. Most of the developed world actually has a problem with single parenthood, and actually only 7% of moms are single parents, and only 20% of that 7%, which equals about less than 1%, have multiple baby daddies. So I do also want to say we are who we surround ourselves with. Why do you know so many of that 1% that you think that's everybody?
So you're trying to say the single moms are the 1% of the world?
No, the single moms that you're describing are 1%. 70% of single moms are employed.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
70 and then single moms, the
No,
three leading causes.
no. Jesus.
Google is free, babe.
So you're trying to say the single moms that I just described are only 1%. Just
Yeah,
1%.
Google it.
That's it.
Yeah, you trying to talk about girls who have multiple baby daddies, don't work, out here trying to take dudes for their money? That happens. Girls do that. They're terrible. Just less than 1%.
So he, did Victor just not say the stat about like 30% of the men are having kids with like 70 or 80% of the women? Didn't he
And
just not
20,
say that stat? That has
yeah,
to be
and
more than
I
1% of the
literally
women
posted a
then.
response. Yeah, I posted a response in the comments.
Am I tripping, Noble? Or did he not say that?
He said something to that, like to the extent of that, something to the lines of that.
So how's that 1%?
Yeah, Vic also was talking about being a traditional man and has like 3 baby mamas. So let's move forward from Vic real quick.
Well, if you no, hold on. Traditional men back in the day, if you look at it, since you like your facts and your stats and whatnot, they had kings had multiple children by multiple women. Soldiers had multiple children by multiple women. Men had multiple children by multiple women. And the traditional woman had children by only one man.
Yeah, I think that depends on
If we
which
want to talk about
traditional
traditional,
culture we're looking at. Yeah, depending on which area of the world
you
you want to
just
look at.
all of it. Look at it.
All of it.
Africa. Back in Africa, there's a lot of black folks. Let's do our history. Back in Africa, there's multiple men, multiple leaders, warriors, and soldiers who are higher ranking or even kings. They had multiple children by multiple women. What's her name? Shazard Ali even said black men had multiple women that they loved and that they were wives, but the monogamy was the white man's idea. So that's
So you
back
think
in
it is
Africa, a
traditional?
different continent.
Okay, let's go
What?
with this. So you think it is traditional to be non-monogamous? So you think that's all right?
That's for women. So yes, look throughout history. Where throughout history am I wrong? Where throughout history has monogamy happened for the most part? Monogamy is a new concept that way. So the men that are lower ranking, that the men who couldn't get the women, they can have a fair chance at the women. Because who was getting all the women? The kings, the guys who had all the money, the soldiers, the warriors. And the guys who didn't, they weren't getting no peace leaving. They were getting pissed off. So they wanted to make a system to make it fair for everybody, so that way every man could get a woman.
Okay, let me just clarify. So now it's traditional for men to be non-monogamous. It's just not traditional for women to be non-monogamous. That's what you're saying?
Where throughout history have women been where throughout history has it been normal for women to be non-monogamous to one man?
Well, there's actually places in the Amazon where they still practice that, but I think that's besides the point of the.
No. On a scale of, okay, let's go to that. Okay, that's one place in the Amazon. No. Let's go back. That's one place in the Amazon, right? Where throughout the world is that also normal?
American cultures that still do that.
Where throughout the world? No. Where throughout the rest of the world is that normal? Is that the norm or is that the exception?
Well, is it the norm or the exception that women have 4 babies?
Is that the norm or is that the exception? Is that the norm or is that the exception? The example you just made.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to talk now?
Is that the norm or is that the exception that you just made?
Is it the norm or the exception that women can be non-monogamous? It's definitely
the example you just trying to make about the Amazon, about the women being non-monogamous. Is that the norm or is that the exception?
Rebel, did you have anything else to say?
Are you going to answer the question?
Well, it's hard for me to answer if you're going to talk over me. You keep cutting my sentences off. It's definitely an exception across genders and cultures to be non-monogamous.
Then why are you trying to make it sound like it's the norm? Why do you put that example out there then?
You're the one that was trying to make it sound like men being non-monogamous is the norm.
I'm making the point. Look throughout history. It's not. Yes, it is.
I'm telling you that throughout history, there's different. Okay, listen.
You're trying to make the exception does not make the rule.
I think you should use Google. I'm going to move forward with my point. You don't want to listen on that? That's okay. Google is free. I think you should try it out. It's great. It's not, you should definitely vet your sources first. But let's move back to the topic. So your view is that single mothers they're not suitable people to have a long-term relationship with, right? That's kind of the point that you've been making. You keep going back to it's the way that I said it. It's the way that I said it. You keep trying to say that it's preference. That's not what you're expressing. Okay. What you're expressing is demeaning. You can express a preference without being demeaning. And that's where you're getting so much fire. No one cares if you don't like someone who, honestly, as a single mom, I'm not out here chasing dudes who don't like kids. In fact, if you don't like kids, I don't want you within 10 feet of my kids. No one wants that. So if you just express the fact that you don't want to be with someone who has kids, then don't be with someone that has kids. It's fine. That's a preference. It's not a preference for you to say that women who have kids are somehow less than. And yeah. I keep hearing that whole you're divorced. It's not the same. I really don't understand why you guys think that a single mom who is, I am divorced. I was married for 5 years. I did it, what you might say,
who
quote,
filed
unquote,
for divorce?
Right. I filed for divorce.
Okay. So you wrecked your own home.
I chose to live instead of to be in a hospital.
So you wrecked your own home.
You would rather me end up in a body bag?
Continue.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I chose to live. You don't know everybody's circumstances, and I don't need to come on live and express my traumas. That's your business. You want to do that? I'm not going to do that all the time. I filed for divorce. It is what it is. But the thing is, you don't get to come on here and tell single moms that they're less than. You think that a single mom is better for staying. Well, you trying to make the assertion that abuse is somehow not the common thing. It's not correct. Divorce, death, and teen pregnancy is actually the highest reasons for single parenthood. And the highest reasons for divorce
Like
is
those women
domestic
didn't
abuse.
choose the man?
Yeah, we chose the man, but guess what? Sometimes they don't hit you until your kids are already born, 3, 4, 5 years into the marriage. Again, you don't know everybody's circumstances, and they don't owe you an explanation. Just like you don't owe them your acceptance, that's fine, but you also don't get to demean them. You don't get to judge them. And nobody knows your mom. And I'm sorry that she has tainted your opinion of mothers and
Once
of single
again,
moms.
let me stop you. Once again, you guys keep trying to go, oh, well, that shit ain't gonna work. Y'all keep playing that same old play out the playbook. Y'all need to go look at game tape and make up a new play, because that shit ain't that shit ain't gonna work. Now you can try that bullshit rhetoric all you want, but it's not gonna work. Hey, no, listen. Yo, no, we'll cry. Listen, you single mom. Listen, people have freedom of choice, but not freedom of consequences. It is not my fault that you women decide to choose. Yo, no, we'll crack it up. Hey, don't get mad at me when I point out the bad behaviors and traits that a lot of single moms exhibit. If you take 1 million single moms and you did a study on them and you studied their patterns of behavior, a behavior that's been established, that has been repeated time after time again, you will notice that a lot of single moms have the exact same patterns of behaviors. You will notice certain trends in their behaviors and how they act and how they move. Don't get mad at me because I pointed it out. And listen, a hit dog will holler. And you really thought you came up here with your, oh, the women from there.
I'm sorry.
Listen, she wanted to come up here with the smoke, so I'm gonna give her this. The women from the Amazon, they're non-monogamous. When fucking history agrees with me, pick up since you want to fucking read and look at the facts, pick up a goddamn Bible. It will say in the goddamn Bible. If you read history, it will say it in history.
Okay, Rebel, wait,
look at documents.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Rebel. Rebel, you're Christian, right?
No.
So how do you feel about Joseph raising Jesus when Mary literally, my guy, how you gonna bring up the Bible, my guy, and Mary literally comes over like
she really thinks she's doing something noble.
You really gonna come over here? You really gonna come over here bringing the Bible right now?
Really trying to defend, well, Mary wasn't a 304 getting them cheeks clapped like y'all single moms recklessly.
You're right. You're right. We ain't over here doing that either. Some of us were married.
Bro.
My guy. Joseph was literally...
Nobody forced you women to get married.
You literally just
Nobody
said...
forced you to be a Jezebel.
Nobody
forced you to make bad decisions.
Don't go back on what you said. Don't make exceptions now. Stand on what you said. You said that if a man takes care of somebody's kid... If somebody takes care of kids that are not their own, that they are less than... And then you're going to bring the Bible into it. Oh, come on.
So as far as that story, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure he was more of a mentor than a father. But it is what it is. I have to look into that. Since you're trying to quote me on... See, what they're trying to do, they're trying to take every little thing and then pick apart every little single thing.
I'm good. I'm done.
Yo,
I think I made my point.
Mama out of here.
Shanice,
yeah, get her the fuck up out of here.
Shanice, before you go, so yeah, so you said like you see him saying, as like him saying single mothers are for recreational use only. You like you said, you see him kind of like devaluing women, if you will, by saying that. My only question to you, before you go, is, I mean, again, I'm not justifying what he's doing. Like I said, I don't think nobody should be talking about anybody like that. Like men talking about women or women talking about men. But can you at least acknowledge that there's men and women like on both sides, people on both sides that they might not voice that this is how they really feel, but this is how they really feel, and shit, that's how they move in real life.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's people who aren't going to openly say what they think and feel, and that's really how they feel,
Right,
because people aren't always brave enough to stand on what they believe in. But I
right.
also think that there's people out there who aren't willing to face that their beliefs are bigoted.
That's fair. I think I wouldn't even say that there's people that they're like afraid to voice what they believe in. Like Rebel was saying earlier, and that the truth is, a lot of men know that if they tell women certain things, despite the fact women say they want men to be straight up with them and they want them to be honest and stuff like that, a lot of men know that if they really be 100% honest about a lot of stuff, especially if and when they're not in it for the right reasons, they're not going to get their desired results. So they're not honest and they're not upfront. And the same thing with women pertaining to men. So yeah, I just wanted to see if you could see it from both sides as well, though. But is there
Yeah.
any last words? Like, is there any last words that you want to address Rebel on before you leave?
Oh no, I'm good. I feel pretty good in the way that I left things. Noble, you already know, like, I think preference is fine. I don't think disrespect is fine. I'm not dating, so I'm not really worried about it. Like, I'm good on all of that. But I really think that people who have limited beliefs are really limiting themselves. And it really is just a reflection. Like, the facts
I'm
obviously
limiting
reflect.
myself to women who are single with no kids. Oh my
Anyway,
gosh, that's a
I
small
was
demographic.
speaking. I was speaking. So,
Not
anyways,
about much.
yeah, well, the thing is, I was asked to speak. I understand that you don't have respect for women, but I'm gonna finish what I was saying. I just think that people really need to not limit themselves, and obviously he really has. So I'm good. I feel good about the conversation.
All right, appreciate you, Shanice. All love, appreciate you.
You know.
All right, have a good one. Talk later.